Mahomes had a press conference this week and kind of gave a little hint as to him seeing that maybe getting to the playoffs, he's confident the team can kind of get it back a little bit. We saw a little bit of that after they won the game against Cincinnati. After the game, he said we just need to score points. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much what his message is right now. I'm going to play the clip here of what he said yesterday.
I'm confident, not only in our offense, but in the football team. You see how the defense is playing. Offensively, I feel like we're going to play our best football at the right time. And I think if we can just score, we don't have to score too much points. If we can just score enough points, our defense will shut the door, and we can find a way to get a win.
So, I mean, pretty much summed it up right there. We just need to score points. And what do you think about this logic? And I've seen some of the talking heads on one of the shows this morning. It's like, oh, we need to score some points. I mean, like, it seems like he's not confident at all. They're setting the bar very low for this Kansas City team. What do you make of his comments there?
No, I think what he's doing is just, taking a good assessment about what they are offensively, what this team has defensively as well. So he understands, like, the defense has been playing at such a high level this entire year that we now know that the Chiefs can, without a doubt, lean on the defense making plays and winning games for us. They understand that. And so Patrick is sitting there saying, look, all we have to do is just make positive yards, okay? Positive yards and score points. So if I'm getting down there and I'm thinking, like we were talking about this other day, if we score 3 touchdowns, then we're fine. 3 touchdowns and a field goal, we'll be good. Don't think about trying to get the 5 or the 6 or whatever, how many possessions you're going to have. If you score on half the possessions that you get, they should be fine. And so Patrick understands that. He knows that Spags has his defense humming, and he's going to put it together, a scheme that's going to be able to shut down Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Tua, Mosseret, Archain. He understands that. So that's just him understanding, like, what their job is to do. That's it. And that's a great answer from a realistic standpoint, right? I think he understands that, right? So that I don't think he's downplaying anything. I think would it be, even if they wasn't playing in the snow, Patrick, or in the cold, Patrick will still be saying, hey, look, we scored 24 points. We should win this game. Okay? We should win this game. Our defense is holding every defense, keeping them out of the end zone. So let's just do our job, to help in, what we need to do to get a win. So I think he's very confident. But now he knows, and he's telling the guys, look, we just need 3 tubs and a field goal. That's it.
I mean, that's one thing we talked about. And I think even before that Broncos game, the Bengals game, yeah, you were saying going into that game, obviously we come off the Christmas Day loss, but you were saying it's just kind of the fact that we just didn't have an identity going into that. And you came away with that out of that Bengals game saying it seems like we do have an identity. It's kind of this hard-nosed thing. And, like, when you hear Mahomes talk like that, and it's pretty much the second time we've heard him say we just need to score points. Even if it is field goals, we're scoring points, putting points on the board. Does it seem like we are, like, we do kind of honing in on this, like, identity of, hey, like, we're gonna do whatever it takes to get points on the board, even if it is field goals. Obviously, we're gonna try to score and finish drives, but, like, we're just gonna get points on the board, and regardless how ugly it looks, how not clean it looks, we're just gonna do that because we know we can trust the defense to get this job done on their side. And as long as they're putting up at least 3 points every drive, we're gonna come home with a victory because our defense is so good. That's basically what he's saying, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I think they kept beating themselves over the head this year about catching footballs, running different plays, trying to understand whatnot. And we talked about them being more vanilla. And I think it kind of happened after the Raiders game. It was like, look, let's simplify some of this. Okay, sometimes we just need to come in and hit teams in the mouth. All right, if Pacheco's been eating, he's just been running through guys. Why aren't we working on that even more? Okay. Let's give some simple things here, a couple of different plays that we could add on to what we're doing, but don't make it too complex. But let's just go out there and play ball. So we got the best tight end in the game. We got the best quarterback in the game. Let's go out there and just show them what we can do. And we talked about what the receivers that came in last week were able to show. we add that on to what we do offensively, then we become a lot better. Okay, come a lot better in between the lines as far as trying to get the ball in the end zone. So I think Pat really understands that, and I think that's going to be the theme of this is what our job is. Period. Point blank. Three tubs in the field goal. We win. Period. That's it. Okay. So
schematically, when we played them in Germany, obviously neutral site game in a dome, just a weird game, a home game, but really not really a home game, but in Frankfurt. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we came out that game guns ablazing. That first drive was like an Andy Reid blast from the past. He drew. Just a great opening script. We win that game. They they cut it to a 7-point game. We were dominating that game. And obviously the scoreboard at the end of the game kind of really wasn't indicative of how good the domination was.
Yeah.
Was there anything in that game that, if you remember, that we could kind of maybe replicate this game?
Oh man, you know what? I didn't go back to look at this game. I can't necessarily think of anything that comes out to me other than what we did defensively against Tyreek. Let's just be physical. I think once you do that, you'll be fine. And so we need to have a good game up front on the defensive side of the ball and on the offensive side of the ball. I think it's where the game is going to be won. To be honest with you, it's going to be won in the trenches. Who wants it more up front? And so hopefully, when we talked about it, Donovan Smith has been hurt. Hopefully he'll get back this week to help out with that because he's a mauler. He's a guy that likes hitting guys dead in their mouth. And he'll just add on to it. Our offensive line is that those guys up front that do love just punishing the defense. So I think that's what we need to do. I think we just need to get into that, just running the football. So
yeah. I mean, and that game, man, I remember it was just I never felt worried in that game. It wasn't until the end we're like, all right, we're gonna make a stop here. Defense came up huge in the end and made that stop. But that was just a thing of beauty. That specifically that first half of that game against Miami. It seemed like we were just getting the ball out quick. That was kind of one of the games we saw Rice kind of do his thing. I mean, he had that quick screen for a touchdown on that opening drive. But yeah, it was just a thing of beauty. And we had a comment here that was probably one of the only drives this year where it actually looked like the old Chiefs, the way we used to look right on this first drive, kind of just get down there pretty easily, efficient drive. Yeah,
it's just going to be different. It's going to be different now. Like I said, we know that they'll probably have 8 in the box. They're probably going to play, man outside. Darius to throw the football deep. But they know we like screens. They know that. They know we like the wide receiver screen, running back screen. So they're going to be looking for it. And because we play more laterally throughout the game, they know we're not a vertical team. Maybe we need to throw maybe 1 or 2 little vertical, throws in just to keep them honest. Well, they're going to try to do it. I mean, why wouldn't they? But yeah, man, shoot. If Rice gets off, he catches the football. I'm looking for Travis to have a good game as well. We should be fine. We should be fine. So I don't really worry about Miami too much. Tyreek is the one. I know he's coming here for the revenge. I know he's talking it up. He's been talking about that. So now
he's been pretty quiet this week, though.
Yeah, well, I think he's focused up. I think he's focused up, to be honest with you. I think he's like, look, there's no need talking. What I need to talk about? Okay, well, I lost the first one, which I was running my mouth, which I shouldn't have been talking, ish or not. So let me not do it. Let me just focus on up, and it's all business from here. So,
yeah, I think Nagy said today during his press conference that they were happy to see Hardman get in a little bit last week and do his thing, and they do see a role for him this coming weekend. Which
absolutely, well, wouldn't time. Yeah, well, I mean, what we getting here for? We didn't, right? He's a weapon for us. Why not use him?
Yeah. Seeing a question here from Mark Fulkerson. Question: it seems MVS has the biggest difficulty with over-the-shoulder catches. I noticed this last year with his size and speed. He can be lethal if he can catch that pass. Is there any quick solution to getting him to catch these?
Quick solution to catching those? Just repetition. That's what that calls for. Just repping those type of catches. Repping, looking the ball into your hands as a receiver all the way in. And I'm talking about from the flight of the ball all the way up, catching it above your head. And you got to follow all the way in. I'm talking about to the catch, to your hands, to your to the tuck. And you train your eyes and your entire body to go through that entire process. That's, to me, is the only quick solution that you have. And that's reps, that's time. That's all that is. So he even if he's at home, I don't know if he's, to whoever it is at home with him, hey, throw some balls to me. You catch it like this, right? Just sit on the couch watching TV. Doop, doop. So that is the quick solution.
Yep.
Watch.
We got Rick Hendrickson. Will Ross be ready to go? Rick, we're about to get into the injury report stuff because that's kind of a big key to this game. But JD, before we move on to the injury report that Miami has, kind of their entire team looks like they're on it. But this week, so they're without Andrew Van Ginkel. He's done for the season. Bradley Chubb's done for the season. The only remaining edge rusher they have is Emmanuel Ogbah, former Chiefs player, won a ring with us. This week they signed Justin Houston, another former Chiefs player, and Bruce Irvin, two veteran edge rushers, which I would have loved for us to have brought them on to be like veteran, like depth guys. But it seems like they're bringing these guys on to be immediate impact players for them this week, because I mean they're kind of just that dwindled edge rush room. Jalen Phillips is also out for them, big loss for them. But like, do you see that as like kind of not a win for us, but the fact that they're getting guys off the street to play for them like this week? I mean, usually it doesn't bode well for you.
No, I mean, if you're getting guys who doesn't really have the type of history that these two guys have, it might be. But we're talking about Justin Houston. Justin Houston is a guy that still is capable of playing in the NFL. It will give you something. Maybe, he have like, man, he'll be happy going back to Kansas City, kind of playing on the other side. So it might be a little incentive for him. Maybe he was trying to get to Kansas City, and Kansas City didn't say anything to him. So I sometimes you got to do what you need to do. And veteran presence is something that is warranted, especially when you're in dire straits, when you lose two guys like that. Houston and Lisa Irvin, he comes in. No. That's just depth, somewhat of fresh legs, but these guys are going to try to stop the run. That's another thing they're going to do, right? Try to anchor, stop what they can, stop the bleeding. So I think it's a pretty decent sign for Miami, and they got Melvin Gordon, right?
Yeah. Melvin Ingram.
Melvin Ingram. Bowser Gordon. I don't know what Melvin Ingram. So
yeah. I will say this, and this is one thing I made a comment on Twitter, and people were kind of ran down my throat. I was saying Justin Houston, Melvin Ingram, Bruce Irvin, and then pair him with Ogbah. Those are actually not bad. I mean, if we're talking January 10th, this is a team that doesn't have as dwindled down edge rush room. To not have any edge rushers to be in this week, to having those guys, it's not a bad edge rush room. Man,
you got some crafty guys, veteran guys that know how to play in the playoffs. So I think actually, to be honest with you, they did a good job signing these guys. Really. Yeah. And the thing is, they've been in the building in Kansas City. They know some of the guys. They know them well. So it'd be interesting. These jokers, man. Hey, Melvin Ingram and Justin Houston on either side. They ain't chopped liver.
Yeah.
We ain't talking getting really guys off the street, who hadn't done anything. Okay. These are well-known dudes that we had. Yep. So they're probably hungry to play against the Chiefs. So, man, do not look past this at all. I'm telling you, do not look past it at all. It's a good sign about them.
It's a good thing that we have Donovan Smith coming back. I think Keith just said that. It's a beauty. I mean, these are veteran guys, so they may not have the juice that they did have maybe 5 years ago. But these are still crafty guys who do know how to dominate rookies. And luckily, Donovan Smith will be slated to come back this week, so that's a big help as far as having some help in the trenches.
It's going to be a good battle, man. Shoot, it's going to be like old gladiators going at it. So they're gonna pull out all the stops, all the little tricks over the years that you have. Somebody got something up their sleeve. Somebody, pull something out, little rabbit out of the hat. Yeah. You got something here. So I never sleep on guys like that. Never underestimate experience ever, ever. So, you just learn how to do things right here mentally, cerebral, as opposed to the physical part of it, right? Because you can't do it anymore. Yeah. So it's going to be a good battle, man.
It's going to be a good test to see because, we always talk, and you've talked about before, like you want to kind of get on because this is one of the reasons why you wanted to win the game last week, because you wanted to have kind of like on a roll getting into the playoffs, whether it was our starters or not our starters, but you wanted to have that kind of like a win streak getting into the playoffs. And you got two schools of thought here because you got one team that's pretty much limping in based on their injury report, and also based on the losses they've had going into this game. And we're on a win streak. They're coming off back-to-back losses. They didn't look good in either one of those games. Mm-hmm. And so it's like you just got two different teams right now going different trajectories right now.
Yeah. But you got the one team that gets the what's the movie now that has all the old action stars from the like the 90s and 2000s.
Oh, Expendables?
Yeah, you go get the Expendables. Put that crew together. You're going to try to make something happen. So, I don't know, man. Hey, look, it's youth against, experience, okay? Who's going to win out? I think what you do is for guys who hadn't played, you test them. You got to test. Test the legs a little bit. You don't want to test them too much, but I think with those guys, you got to run some traps. You got to run some counters. You just got to get past them quick. Because they don't learn how to anchor. They don't know how to get a pal. They ain't got no problem doing that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man. I don't count none of them old dudes, them old jokers out. Look. If they brought me out there, I'm gonna give you something. I promise you. Okay, I might have a young guy on me. He's gonna get past me, but there's gonna be some times I'm gonna get the better of it. You best believe that. Mm-hmm. That's just a fact because I got that right here and right here, and I know I got some craftiness in me that the refs ain't gonna be able to see. They ain't gonna be able to figure it out. But I'll hem a joke up,
And I bet you come back in the league right now, you'd still be the best blocking tight end in the league, 100%.
Yeah, man. I told my daughter this. She was crazy. She said, "Dad, why don't you go back and play?" I said, "Shoot." I said they wouldn't have to pull me out because I got hit. I could take the hits. I said they would bring a stretcher out because I'd be out of gas. I'd probably fall out just from exhaustion. Accommodated like Jason Dunn is on the ground. I think he's just tired. It's already out, man. Wore out. That's what that would be. So,
actually, have a little goal line red zone package for you to come in there. You'll be all right.
I'll be all right. Yeah, I'll be all right. Goal line package. But I'd be like what's the little commercial where they have with Emmitt Smith and those guys, old guys coming back.
It's a good commercial. I think I saw a tweet earlier this week that said Justin Houston, Melvin Ingram, and Bruce Irvin in the locker room, and someone posted the clip of Jerry Rice dapping up with Emmitt Smith.
That's funny. Guys ain't that old, man. They gonna show it too. They know everybody's talking about them, so they're like, okay, you know what? We got something for y'all. Y'all talking all that noise. We got something for us. The geriatrics out there, huh?
Yep. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.